Chief Creative Officer, Alberto Beto Perez, and COO, Alberto Aguiar. Guys, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Now, how's this going to work? If I toss a question out to Alberto, are you all three going to jump in?
We'll try to figure out who it was for.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, you've probably solved that around the office.
Yeah.
Folks, to get an idea of what this company is, words fail you when you try to describe it. So I've put together, with the help of the videographers at Inc. and at Zumba, a videotape that kind of gives you a feeling of what Zumba is like. Can we roll the tape?
Let me see.
All right. Thank you, guys. That is Zumba. And maybe you recognize Beto. He was in a couple of those video shots. All right, you guys have gone from triumph to triumph after you appeared on the cover of Inc. 186 countries, 15 million sweaty, happy users. It is truly an amazing story. Now, there are a few great entrepreneurial companies that have three founders. Airbnb comes to mind. But it's not that common. And in the case of Airbnb, those guys were all college roommates. You guys all came together separately to found this company. And so let's talk about your separate beginnings, where you came from. Beto, let's start with you.
Yeah.
Had a whole hour.
No, my name is Alberto Perez, but people call me Beto. It's a nickname. I'm from Cali, Colombia. Yeah. And it's a very happy city where everybody dances there. We grow up with happy music, salsa, merengue, Latin music, and I study all my young life there. And I moved to the city that I'm from Cali, but I moved to Bogota, and the capital, in the 92, and after I moved to Miami in the 2000. Yeah.
And the idea for Zumba came to you at one of your dance instructions, I believe.
Yes. Really, I love to dance. I remember I started my passion for dance when I saw the movie Grease of John Travolta. For me, it changed my life. I was 7 years old, and I say to my mom, please, I want to see again the movie. And I will repeat. After that, I put the jacket, I put grease in my hair, and I dance in my neighborhood. And all the parties, when, you know, a birthday or something, they invite me, and I start to dance, and people make a round, you know, and all the girls love it. And I say, wow, this is amazing, it's great. And later, when I was a teenager, my mom is a single mother. I don't know my father, my family, it's only my mom. My mom worked very hard all his life, but she don't care, no? She say, wow, this crazy guy dance, it's cool. But he don't pay attention to that. But my passion for dance is so crazy. Later, when I was teenager, the Michael Jackson and the breakdance coming, and I learned all the choreographies of Michael Jackson. At the same time, I hear the Latin music in my country. It's perfect because there's the American influence, you know, the pop and everything. But at the same time, I had the Latin music in my country because it's natural. And when I was 15 years old, my mom decided to come here to this country. And she told me like a joke, hey, you know, I have a friend to propose to go to the United States. I say, Mom, go. And she told me, are you crazy? You have 15 years old. I don't leave you here alone. No, come on, do it. Finally, I convinced her. And she challenged me. She told me, I will go if you study and you support yourself. And I find a job in a club because I danced in the club when 15 years old, and the owners of the clubs loved me. And I say, I know a famous model say, give me the business card, and say, can you go to the agency? And I went to the agency, and I started to teach classes there. And I said to the owner, okay, I want to teach classes, but at the same time, I want a messenger in the morning. I said, okay, perfect. I'm a messenger in the morning, teaching in the afternoon, and I study at night. And later, I moved to Bogota.
But I guess it was
Yes,
in Cali,
yes,
no?
it was in
But
Cali,
you're
yeah.
teaching aerobics.
I teach aerobics classes. You know Jane Fonda, remember Jane Fonda? Old school. And one day, I started to teach my classes, and I forgot my music. I don't know, maybe people know what is a cassette, no? You know, remember? Celebrate young generation.
No one here is old.
I recorded my music from the radio station, you know, different kind of music, but I had my aerobics music for my job. And I teach my classes, aerobics classes every day, and one day I forgot my music. And the only music the aerobics music, the only music that I had in my hands, it was a tape with different kind of music with the radio station. Sometimes the guy, this is 95.5, and said, you know, to put the finger and return again. And I was ready to teach my class, and I say, oh, my music. And the only thing I had this tape. I breathe, and I turn around to my student and I say, ladies and gentlemen, the class today is different. I prepared this class for a long time, and I think that you are ready. And everybody say, oh, okay, yeah. But inside to me, oh my God, please help me. I play the music, and I was 16 years old, and I start to improvise. And people start to smile, people was happy, people sweating. And the best thing is I feel like the class like 20 minutes. And the end of this class, I remember, I say, wow, I want to do this for the rest of my life. It's amazing. They pay me for this. I dance, and I have a lot of women around to me. It's a perfect job.
All right. Alberto, Perlman, how did you guys meet?
So in 99, 2000, I graduated college in 98, in 99, 2000, I was working in .coms with Alberto Aguirre. And in 2001, when the .com bubble burst, we basically lost everything we were doing. And we were 23, 24 years old, and we felt unemployable, because at that time, internet was a bad word on your resume. Like, it was crazy. Like, no one wanted to have anything. It was like back to bricks and mortar, and no one crazy that what we're going through now. But we didn't know what we were going to do. And I was having dinner at my parents' house. And my mom kept talking about her dance fitness class. And I'm like, no, Mom, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. She's like, my class was so awesome today. And she said, why don't you meet with my instructor, Beto? Maybe you and him can open up a gym or something. And I said, a gym? I don't know anything about fitness. And she said, I don't know, I'll get you his number. So she calls the gym, and then she calls him and gets his number from the gym, calls him and says, I want you to meet my son, maybe he has some ideas. And I didn't have any ideas. But the next day, I was at Starbucks waiting for Beto, a guy I had heard of many years from my mom and all her friends. They kept talking about, I never met him, and shows up, and he tells me his life story. And when I heard his life story, and it's unbelievable. I mean, you guys got a snippet, but it's so unbelievable that Fox Telecolombia is doing a mini-series about his life, because there's so many stories he can have you here for hours. And I said, with his story, this guy must teach an incredible class. I don't know, there was something about what he was telling me. So I said, I want to see your class. He said, well, this afternoon I'm teaching at Olympia Gym in Aventura, come see it. So I went to see the class, and first there was a line of like 200 people, like for half an hour, waiting to take the class. The owner of the gym had told me I had to expand my group exercise room because of this class, because it's so popular. And when I saw the class, everybody was smiling. I have that image in my head where the whole time everybody was happy, but they were drenched in sweat, like pools of sweat on the ground, but happy. Everybody was smiling. And I said, this guy has figured out how to make fitness fun. And this could be huge. So after the class, I told him, why don't we create some videos and sell them on TV? Because I was fascinated by Taibo at that time, what they had done, and the fact that they didn't have to know anyone at retail or anything. They could just go direct. There was no internet sales, that much internet sales at that time. So you could just go direct on TV. And I said, you want to do it? And he said, you have any money? I said, no, do you? He said, no. So we'll figure it out. So I called Alberto Aguillon, who I've known since I was 5 years old. We've been best friends for a very long time. And I told him, do you know this guy, Beto? And he said, Beto, the dancer? I said, yes. And he said, that guy used to come to my house in Bogota to teach my little sister and her friends how to dance. I know that guy, he's very good. I said, well, I want to create like an infomercial and create some VHS. It was VHS in 2001 still. Some VHS tapes and sell them on TV. And he said, I'm in. So that's how we all got together.
Alberto, again, what did you really think when your best friend called you and said you wanted to go into business with a guy with no money, but good dance moves?
To be honest with you, I was excited from the first moment.
Were you?
I mean, it was, I've heard about him for so long. I knew he was a star, and I got excited about the infomercial opportunity, and I said, you know what? I mean, I just like it, and I trust also Perlman. So.
All right.
I want to say something at this point, because before I know Alberto, both, 1 week before, I have a guy with 60 years old, and he say, Beto, I have $1 million. I want to do something with you. And 1 week later, I know Alberto. Alberto, do you have money? He say no. And I don't money. But I decide to go with him, more younger than me, 25 years old. I prefer to go with him, no money, young guy, but the guy with experience of $1 million. Why? I feel it. I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay, so there's the first entrepreneurial tip of the morning. Listen to your heart. Second entrepreneurial tip, listen to your mom.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Now, we see how the partnership started. You knew Beto even before. You heard about him from your mom. But what holds you guys together? I mean, you're very different. You know, you're the business guy, CEO. You're the creative force, and you're the COO. You're the brains and the technology department. What keeps you guys together? And what could we learn from the fact that you guys have stayed together so long in a three-way partnership?
Well, I think one key thing, important thing, is to surround yourself with people that complement you and complement your strengths. So that is key in our case. I think each one of us does very different things and is good at different things. For example, Perlman he's an idea person. He's always throwing ideas. He loves marketing. He's passionate about marketing and business development and sales and even public speaking. And look at Beto, he's a creative genius behind improving the class, evolving the class, the music behind it, understanding the music trends. And me personally, I'm more passionate about operations, efficiency, controlling costs, risks, budgets. So each one of us is passionate.
Someone has to do it.
It's always stealing our ideas. That's what
Yes.
Stealing ideas.
I cost too much money. So.
But we're passionate about different things, and we enjoy doing different things. So I think, and we also respect and trust each other with what they're doing. So I think that really helps in the partnership.
You have some principles of leadership that ties not just the three of you together, but the whole company culture together. Alberto, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, so a few years ago, we got a group of people who worked in the company. One of them is actually sitting over there, Carolina, who's our head of marketing. And we said, why don't you guys create some core values, some statements, some guiding principles that define the culture of this company? Because we didn't know how to articulate the culture, but we knew there was a culture there. And so they got together and they came up with some great statements. My favorite one is ego is not your amigo. We actually have that on a wall in the office. And we talk about those statements a lot, but it really was always hard for me to understand how to deliver this company culture, how to just not talk about it, but how to make people understand what it is. And one day, I was sitting in a room with a bunch of executives and some people that had come to visit, and it was an important meeting. And a few instructors, or 3 instructors, were getting a tour in the office. A lot of instructors show up and they just get tours in the office. And I saw them through the window and I said, excuse me, I'm just gonna go say hello to some instructors. I didn't know these instructors. So I went out and said hello, spoke to them for a while, asked them how we could improve things and hug them and took pictures with them. And then I came back in and somebody from my team said, you know how you're always talking about how to figure out how to transmit the company culture? What you just did, that is the culture of this company. So we know what's important to you because of what you just did.
So yeah, actions speak louder than principles put up on the wall somewhere.
Yeah, and people understand what our priority is. And our priority is always to help our instructors change lives, which has become the mission of the company.
To help your instructors change lives.
Yeah.
Beto, you're a scrappy guy, and that is a virtue that serves entrepreneurs very well. In every kind of entrepreneurial origin story, there's this point where you're kind of at wit's end. You have some crucial meeting that you have to do, an investor or something like that, a vendor. There's one in particular involving a video magnate from Ohio. It's one of my favorite stories about the origin of Zumba. Do you know what I mean? And you want to tell that?
Yeah, the story about
Fitness Quest.
the Fitness Quest, yes. I remember Alberto say, okay, we need to recording a good video and I want to show this video to a big company, fitness company. And I say, Alberto, okay, let's do it. I will call all my students and we film something in Miami Beach, perfect, good. And we put the other image from Miami Beach in the helicopter, but we download from internet and put like a spectacular video, no? But it's only 1 minute. And Alberto say, okay, Alberto, I will go to Ohio to this company, Fitness Quest. And he went, put the only blazer that he had in this moment. He have a meeting with these people. Finally, they find for many, I don't know how he do it, but finally with the president of the company, he watched the video and he say, amazing, good. And he say, he speak English, no? And Alberto say, give me 2 seconds. He went to the bathroom and say, call me, Beto, these people ask me, you speak English. And this time I didn't speak English at all. He tell me, he speak English. I say yes, don't worry. And I say, yeah, he speak English a little bit with little accent, you know, but it's okay.
So
okay.
for 60 days, the next 60 days, Aguillon and I, our only job was to teach Beto English. Because that guy from Fitness was going to show up. But it didn't work.
Yeah, and the 15 days, I say, hey guys, it's okay, Alberto. I need only teach me how you say, mucho gusto, perdón, me tengo que ir. Nice, you need to say, nice to meet you, sorry, I need to go. It's okay. And I start to teach my class, you know, and I tell to Alberto, bring him not from the beginning of the class, bring him from in the middle of the class is the best moment. And I start to teach my class, you know, I have like 250 people in the class, and he come with them, and it's 3 very American guys in Miami from Ohio. Wow, everybody smile, crazy. And this time it was Jennifer Lopez, so, you know, let's get loud. It was crazy, and they start to move and everything. And the end of the class, they coming to me. Imagine this in slow motion. And Alberto looking at his glasses like that. And I say, Beto, and he start to teach in English, blah, 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 blah. For me, it's like, blah, blah, blah. Say, nice to meet you. Sorry, I need to go. Nice to meet you. And I escape, and I stay in my car, and Alberto say Alberto telling, I'm sorry, he's so famous, I introduce classes, everything. Bye, Beto, bye. And I escaped, and I was in my car, a Pontiac 95, no air conditioning in Miami.
And we paid the price for that because later they figured out that he didn't speak English, but they were already in the deal and they wanted to do it. So the punishment for that was that Aguion and I had to write an entire infomercial script in Spanish phonetics in English. So they gave us a script and then we had to the word nation became N-A-Y-S-H-O-N. So we had to go through everything. And in the first commercial that we did, his body language doesn't match what he was saying at all.
Yeah.
We dig that up. He's like, saying,
yeah, because we are so happy. It's little.
And it took 18 takes for him to say long, lean-looking muscles.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry, if my English is not very good looking, I'm sorry, but I think you understand. No?
Now, like a lot of successful entrepreneurs, you've been through your share of pivots. You thought you were a video company at one time, and now you've become a bunch of other things. When was there a moment, was a single kind of ray of light came down for you, you realized that you were much bigger than what you started out as?
There's many of those. But
there's a moment. So in 2007, we had a partnership with Gothier, and they were launching a new infomercial because the first infomercial that we launched in 2002 didn't actually work. So then we left, we did different things for a few years, we did some campaigns with Kellogg's. I mean, we were trying all these different type of businesses. And in 2007, Gothier decided they wanted to invest, and they did a whole new show, and they launched it in the US. And a few months, even during the show, we were always saying, no, you need to do it like this, you need to change it. We really understood what we wanted to communicate and how to showcase our product. But they thought they were the experts, and they are, but it wasn't working. So at that point, we were able to work with them and get back the rights. We took the show ourselves, we made the changes, and we relaunched it. And very soon, we were getting a 3-to-1 MER, a media efficiency ratio of 3-to-1. So for every dollar spent, we were getting $3 back.
Wow.
And that immediately propelled our business. And through those years, we had also built a platform, a scalable technology platform, and all the business processes that we were in a position that now, with all this huge awareness, the business was starting to scale. And it was immediate that that same show suddenly was launched in Europe. And in Netherlands, everyone was getting trained. And so we were able to scale it. And funny thing, 1 year later in Denmark, 1 out of every 2,000 people in the country was a Zumba instructor. And to me, that was like, wow, this is really a product that can scale.
That's great.
Yeah, and I think if you talk about the early days, there was one moment that actually made us make a very pivotal decision as well, which was because that was a big awareness moment. That's when we realized that everybody was going to know what Zumba was. But when we launched our first infomercial with Fitness Quest, people kept calling the Fitness Quest call center saying, I want to take a class, or I bought these tapes, now I want to become an instructor. Do you guys certify people, teach them how to become instructors? And they said, well, we're just a call center, we'll give you their office number. Their office number was a Metro PCS cell phone next to Aguion's bed. Ring at 2 in the morning. And he told me, a few people are calling saying they want to get certified in Zumba. Should we train them? And I'm like, I don't know. Let's call Beto. Beto, you think you can teach other people to teach Zumba classes? He said, yes, if you translate. And so we put up on our website, first Zumba instructor certification, and to be hosted in Miami on this and this date. We thought we were going to get 30 people. We got 150 people. We had to change the venue 3 times. And for 2 days, Beto taught them how to teach, and we were translating all for those 2 days, and people were just so happy and amazed. There were people crying at the end out of joy, saying, this is going to completely change the lives of people in my town. I love this. And they went back to their towns and sort of started teaching Zumba. So
When the writer came to me and said that Zumba has this amazing business model, she was talking about the Zumba Instructor Network, which is hard to describe, sort of between a franchise and a cult.
So that's another story.
Well, we can get to that. But how does it work, and how did it happen that you turned your customers from the dancers in the class to the instructors?
Yeah, so we start training the instructors and in 2003, and we started seeing that they kept flying back to Miami to film Beto's class, to get music advice from him, to get names. We would send them names of songs, and so they kept asking us, we don't know how to find the songs that are good for Zumba. We don't know how to choreograph. We would like to communicate with each other. There was no Facebook at that time, so we want to see if we can communicate with each other to help each other. We need marketing materials. Can we download the logo? So they kept asking us for these things, and that became the Zumba Instructor Network, which for a monthly fee, they get access to all the tools so that they can run their business. So whether it's a teaching tool like choreography, music, we have these things called Zumba Jam sessions, which are live jam sessions that we have all over the world where they can attend and get more choreography advice, or marketing assistance, whether they want to post their classes on Zumba.com. We get 500,000 people every month searching for classes on Zumba.com. So they're listed, you type in a zip code and they're listed there. Business cards, posters, flyers, e-learning courses. There's about, 100 benefits that we offer them. So it's like $1,000 of value that we offer them every month for $35. And so they get access to, we didn't want to be a franchise and limit what they could do, because we wanted to impact the most amount of people. So we made it very accessible, very inexpensive, and then they take what we give them and do what they want with it. So not exactly everything they want, but there's certain guidelines, but they go out, they can teach in a school, they can teach in a church, they can teach in a gym, they can sell clothing if they want, Zumba clothing if they want. So there's many things that they can do with the Zumba brand.
So you're empowering a bunch of entrepreneurs.
Yes, we turn dancers into entrepreneurs.
Well, speaking of people who take the Zumba brand and take it in places that you didn't necessarily imagine they would take it, there have been some controversies around Zumba. One case, an instructor in Maine used Zumba class as a way to procure clients for a prostitution business. In Iran, some people started up Zumba class and were promptly arrested by the religious authorities. How do you handle that kind of publicity, which is not necessarily good? What do you do with it?
Yeah, so we never saw a negative impact on our business from that publicity. I mean, it was coming out. A lot of men who didn't know about Zumba now heard about Zumba from the main scandal. So a lot of the husbands told their wife, "Oh, there's this thing happening in Maine." And she's, "I've been telling you about Zumba for 2 years. You don't believe it." Now because of this, you're asking what Zumba is. So, the Iran thing is unfortunate because it makes us very sad. We didn't train those instructors because we can't even operate in Iran. But there were, I don't know if they flew to Kuwait and took a training in Kuwait and went back to Iran, or if they were teaching legally what they were doing. But the fact that a country would limit its people from dancing, it was shocking to us, and we want to see how we can support people who are in those lands that where they're getting oppressed. But the thing that we see also is that there are so many instructors that do amazing and good things. like the disaster relief efforts, or like when Hurricane Sandy hit in New York, an instructor got into a U-Haul, asked us for Zumba clothing. We sent her a bunch of jackets, and she went to homeless shelters to deliver them. Or Hurricane Harvey, there's a ton of instructors helping there. In Mexico, in the earthquake, so it's amazing to see how the Zumba instructor community mobilizes to help people and to do amazing things. And those are the stories we look for and we care about.
Is there, while we're on that topic, is there anything going on with Zumba and Hurricane Maria or Harvey? Or
yeah, so it's been hard because we haven't been able to communicate with our instructors in Puerto Rico. We've joined with one of our close friends, Daddy Yankee, in his campaign. If you go to his Facebook, there's a Feeding America campaign where the Bancos de Alimentos of Puerto Rico is delivering food. And we've been trying to, we've made a donation ourselves to help out, but it's hard because there's no distribution system in Puerto Rico right now. The food is arriving, the water, everything is arriving, but then to get out, it's very hard. There's no gas, there's no power, there's no water, and I've been obsessing over this for the past week on how to help, and it's been hard. So we're working hard on this, and it's part of what we do, and hopefully we'll get in touch with all our instructors in the next week.
Okay, well, that certainly is a worthy cause, and we hope you succeed at that. Yeah. They need help in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
You brought up Daddy Yankee, and one of the amazing things about Zumba is that in addition to being all the things it is, joyous fitness and everything, it's also seen by many recording artists as a way to release their latest music. And we saw on the tape how many artists released through Zumba. How did those partnerships come to be, and what advice can you give the audience here about working with celebrity endorsers?
I think the music business changed a lot in this moment right now. I remember in the 2001, 2002 when I went to the music, companies, hey, I have this idea, can you give me music for use for my videos? And they don't pay attention to us, Now, the music changed, the story changed. Now, Zumba is a big platform for the artists and for the music. Why? Because when I create one choreography, we film the choreography, and we send the music, we send this song for 185 countries. This is more
15 million people.
It's like a big radio station. No MTV, nothing have this distribution like that.
And they have to dance to the song and learn the choreography to the song.
And they sing in everything. It's like you need to do it or you need to do it.
And they can't turn it off.
Exactly. And this is, the artists start to see this thing, okay, let me see. Because now the business is so hard, the people don't hear, people don't turn the radio, don't watch video channels. Now everything's, and as people, the artists and the companies start to call us, hey, listen, I have this artist, and big artists. We have
Pitbull was the first one.
Pitbull was the first one.
He came to the office and said, this is like a radio station. I want to launch my song with you guys.
Wow.
Yeah, and they see the opportunity to other parts of the world, other people hear the music. And now they want to work in. We have a line of other artists to give us music. Of course, not all the music is working because I need to select the music that's working for Zumba. And I say, okay, this is working, this is working. Or if you want this song working, you need to do this. And it's amazing. It's amazing because now we have the control. But it's, we're working. It's hard to manage all these copyrights and all these
music
things.
Licensing is
the license and the music so hard because this business.
But we've become very good.
Yeah, but now we have exclusive songs now. They give us
like that Daddy Yankee song that you saw, the Firehouse.
Yeah.
That song you can't find it on Spotify. You can't find it anywhere. That's a song that is only for Zumba instructors.
That's
and it's
amazing.
an incredible track.
I want to know, too, that just to impress me, Alberto Perlman, as I walked across the lobby of my hotel, where Alberto's also staying, he was there yesterday with one of the leading pop stars of Brazil.
Yeah.
His name is?
Claudia Leche.
Do you remember the World Cup, the opening of the World Cup?
The
song, you know, the opening was Jennifer Lopez, Pitbull, and a beautiful blonde girl. She's Claudia Leche. She's like a Beyonce, but Brazilian version. Very, very famous and very beautiful and very.
And so we work with
Yes,
her
indeed.
to launch her music, and she loves Zumba, so she loves Zumba. She's like the ambassador for Zumba in Brazil. And in Carnival, which is the biggest thing that happens in Brazil, a couple years ago, we were her float. Her float was the Zumba float, and she was the #1 singer in Carnival. 750,000 people dancing and going crazy. So it's
Wow, what an operation.
yeah.
You recently launched a new product, so you broke into yet another field, which is true exercise with Zumba Strong. Tell me how you rolled that out and how you kind of maintain the brand integrity while you have a new product.
Zumba's true exercise also, but it's cardio. Zumba is
Cardio, okay.
Zumba's very cardio focused, and Strong is high intensity interval training.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
And the
The
reason
difference is Strong is not dance.
there's no dance in Strong by Zumba. So Zumba is dance fitness, cardio, and Strong by Zumba is high intensity training, right? So push-ups, squats, burpees, all those kinds of high intensity training exercises. But there's a lot of programs in the world that have high intensity training exercises. So why would we get into that? And it happened as another coincidence. Beto and I were at a trade show, and we took one of the high intensity interval training classes, and Beto kept telling me, the music sucks. There's no connection between the music and the workout. Why when I punch doesn't it sound bah or ka? Like he wanted, I want to feel like I'm in a video game or something like this, but the music has no like.
Remember Batman, old school, poo, pow. So I imagine the class like that. Because we was kid, we watching poo, and we see the word poo, pow, boom, move, you know, like that. I think we need to create something like that.
So we created, we have one of our instructors she's like a ninja, she's amazing, and she's this girl from Switzerland. And we created a choreography, a routine with her. Burpee, squat, jump, kick, and so it was this whole like martial arts focused, but also high intensity exercise focused. And we created it to a song, and then we muted that song, and we gave it to a music producer, and we said, score music to this workout. So make everything sync. So if she goes on the floor, like make every sound powerful and make those sounds repetitive as well. So a push-up has the same sound, or a punch has the same sound. And it was almost like Pavlov's dogs, right? Where the bell and the dogs got hungry. And it was the same thing. It was sound conditioning for fitness. And what we saw was that people who thought they could only do 10 of an exercise were doing 13, 14 because they weren't counting. The sound was pushing them to do it. And that was the launch of Strong by Zumba. And we launched it a year ago. And we've already
really amazing producers help us.
We've already worked with Timbaland, who to score music to our workouts. Steve Aoki scores music to our workouts. And some of the biggest DJs are in conversations with us to score music to these workouts because they think it's really cool. They think it's amazing. And we see that people push harder, they go beyond. And we already have about 300,000 people taking Strong by Zumba classes. And
That's extraordinary.
Yeah.
I think one of the secrets of Zumba is that we invest a big part of the money in music. Because the fitness industry don't invest in music. Always you hear these programs with very cheap music, punch, 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 very, computer music. No, we spend producers, creativity. Always I need, for example, now for Strong, I need to sit down the producer and say, no, all the things that you study in your life, forget it, reset. This is the program right now need to be like that. No, the chorus, no intro, powerful music, the motivation to move.
Yeah. The result is that you feel like you're in a scene from the movie 300 or a Rocky training scene, or like that's the idea. You see all these like great fight scenes and training scenes in movies, and then you go and jog on the beach and it's not the same thing, right?
Yes.
But we wanted to harness that and say, can you feel like Lara Croft from Tomb Raider or something like that when you're working out? And that's what the music shoots.
Obviously, the culture of Colombia is a central core to your business. And as you pointed out, you're in every country in the world except where the authorities forbid it. So North Korea is another place, although I can't wait to see Kim Jong-un doing Zumba.
He will, I promise.
I know the song too,
the
Rocket
solution.
Man. But why? I mean, what is it about Colombia that spread over the whole world? How did that happen?
The Latin music, I think, is the roots of Latin music come from African music. And most of the great music in the world has like deep roots, and a lot of it is from African music, and it translates very well in other countries. You can see it from like Despacito even, like how did that song, I was in an Uber in Sweden, and Despacito's playing on the radio, and I'm like, how did this song? And it's because the roots of that music are universal. And there's also so much variation in the music that allows you to do so many different things throughout a class. And there's never been a place where Zumba hasn't worked.
Yes.
I mean, we've always said, what if in Malaysia they don't like it, Beto? And he's like, don't worry. And he calls me after teaching a class in Malaysia, and he says, I just taught a class, and they were all wearing burqas. And so I imagined they were ninjas, and we started doing martial arts. And I hope that's appropriate to say, but they loved it. I knew they were smiling when they were taking that class. So.
All right, let's take some questions from the Twitter feed. This is from Jessica Brenner. How's the growth of digital platforms changed your business, and has it been positive or negative for you?
This is very important, because if it wasn't for the power of technology and the internet, we couldn't have done what we did. Because we came from that, we tried to basically digitize all our workflows since the very beginning. So instructor registration to the membership to everything that they get. And right now we have, our instructors used to receive CDs and DVDs for their classes, and now they have it on an app where they get all their music, all their videos, all their music, and they can build playlists from their music, and they can actually crossfade songs together and add sounds, and like it's like a DJ app, but they get the library of all the music that we give them and the videos that we give them. So technology has been a big enabler for us to go global. Technology has been a big enabler for us to be able to distribute our content to instructors.
One thing is, for example, YouTube is our biggest threat, but it's also our biggest promoter. So it helps both. It helps and it threatens our business also at the same time.
Good.
But, yeah, for example, in YouTube, you receive one choreography, and our tool that we give to the instructors is different angles of the camera, different good production with light, break down the steps.
And they can't get you, and they can't get our top instructors.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That's exclusive for.
Good, okay. The combination of threat and opportunity that tech represents for you is a good segue to the next question that comes from Bob Mound. What business challenges do you worry about the most, and how do you keep the growth going?
What challenges do we work? That's a good question. I always worry about delivering more value to the instructors month in and month out. And as technology catches up, as the world changes, we need to keep on innovating and keep changing the tools, making them better. Before, we were giving them access to flyers that they could download and print. Nobody prints flyers anymore, right? So what do you do now? What social media tools can we give them to promote their business? So we obsess about how to deliver more and more value to our instructors. That's really our main concern. It's
Yes,
one of our.
to keep it going.
Yeah.
The customers ever happier. Pedro, an answer to that?
What do you worry about?
Yes, I think we need to be actualized all the time. You know, this world changes every 3 months. The music changed, the fashion changed so fast that 10 years ago. we need to be there. We need to be there. I use all my Zumba kids. They tell me, what is the new song? What is the new tendance? You know, everything. Show me, tell me, give me the information, because the kids know everything, you know, and I'm there. And I think that this is the challenge, to be actualized in the moment everything happening in the world.
I'd like to take the last question from myself, a question that I always wonder about when I'm in the presence of really successful entrepreneurs like you. Entrepreneurship is a hard path to choose, and a lot of people who go down that path don't succeed, the majority of them, according to some stats. So when you look back at the course of your business, how do you answer the question of, why was it us? Why did we succeed?
When I arrived in college, I went to business school, and they gave us a list of things, attributes that you think are the biggest factors for success. And you had to circle intelligence or team, experience. And most people circled those types of things. And the professor said, no one in the class circled the one that is most important, luck. And you have to work really hard and be very persistent, but luck is a huge, huge factor. I mean, we had Latin music becoming mainstream. I mean, Ricky Martin was singing, when we started, was Living La Vida Loca and Macarena, all those songs were starting. We had an emphasis in health and fitness that was growing. We had technology that enabled us to go global. The world was becoming smaller. So it was,
Timing also.
Timing. It was great timing and lots of persistence and being always listening to the customer. I mean, that was our driving force, was the instructors telling us, we need this, or why don't you give us this? And they're really our boss, and we do everything for them.
All right, guys. Well, I believe that luck plays a part in it, and timing is important, but I'll never believe that luck was the driving factor in the success of your company. I think it was determination, vision, and one hell of a great athlete, dancer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The three Albertos and Zumba. Thank you.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.